Hi everyone, welcome to this series. So in this series we're going to cover Direct3D. So just to avoid confusion, I made this really small presentation. What is Direct3D and what is DirectX? If you never worked with lower level these graphics APIs, DirectX is just collection of various library for Microsoft devices. So not devices, but actually for Windows operating system, and then for the Xbox, and probably some tablets which are running on Windows anyway. But it is just a collection of APIs, and I haven't mentioned all of them. So basically DirectX is just various components of APIs. So for this series, what I wanted to cover is actually Direct3D and then maybe some smaller subset of these libraries. And I forgot, of course, here a Math library as well, which is there. But for example, we're going to cover Direct3D, which is responsible for 3D graphics. So whenever you play a game, it's usually on Windows, it's usually running on Direct3D. On Xbox, it's for sure running on Direct3D. So it can be version 11, it can be version 12. There are older versions like 10, 9, 8, which are now deprecated. We're going to use 11, and I'm going to explain differences a bit later. Then what we're going to probably use is this interface, DirectX GI. I don't know how is it pronounced. But what this interface does is just allows us to enumerate our devices. What do I mean by that? Well, basically, if it allows you to fetch your GPU, so to say, and to work with it. So to enumerate means like if you have multiple GPUs, let's say you have a laptop, you might have integrated GPU and dedicated one. And then you can use this interface, right, to actually enumerate and work with the GPU that you want. Sort of to query GPU. It's also used for monitors, setting up swap chain, but more on that in the future videos. What we might also use is X audio, which, as its name says, it's responsible for audio, and maybe X input, maybe not. Since we're going to use SDL, I'm going to see about that. But as you can see, it's responsible for input. So for controllers, probably mice, keyboard as well. Then there are some other libraries. DirectWrite is responsible for rendering fonts. We're not going to use it. DirectDraw for 2D graphics, don't care. And Direct Video Acceleration, don't care. And then the other stuff we don't care about as well. So we're just going to use subset of DirectX. But our main focus is, of course, on Direct3D, right? So if you want to use something else for audio, such as open audio language, you can. Does OpenIL stand for that? I don't know. If you want to use something else for input, for example, SDL, you can. But this we're going to work with, and this for sure, right? Because for this we just need to set up swap chain, and that's all that we're going to use it for. It's also now used for these 3D apps, setting up stereoscopic 3D. Anyway, not important. And as you can see, right here, right, there are various APIs, right? Not just this one that I mentioned, and there is even a lot of more of the deprecated ones. So you can check it, but yeah, that's what we're going to use, what I mentioned. Okay, then what I wanted to mention is our project. So we're going to use C++. Of course, I could have used other languages, but for this one, I kind of wanted to do it with C++. So here what I'm showing is vcpkg manager. So just a word on it. So with C++, as you know, it's kind of it's hard like to manage dependencies, right? So recently there are some decent package managers. vcpkg is one of them. It was actually started by Microsoft, I believe, but now it's open source and it's available on every platform. So yeah, it says for all platforms with system and workflows. So kind of bold, right? And it's pretty decent. So we're going to set it up, and then we're going to use it for our packages, which is going to be SDL and maybe in the future other ones. So usually, if you try working with SDL, you maybe downloaded binaries and then set up that or any other weird C++ way of doing things. Then this is just another weird way of doing things. So we're going to use package manager. Also note, since DirectX is for Windows, you need to use Windows C++ compiler, so Visual Studio compiler actually to compile it. So it cannot be like some other compiler. So just be mindful of that. With that said, we're going to use here Visual Studio, and we can start with it. So to start, hopefully you have Visual Studio. I'm just going to create console app. For Windows, you can actually create a window specific window, so to say. They have their own template, and Windows has its own way of running actually Windows 32 apps, but we're going to use SDL. So I'm just going to go with the console app, and then I'm just going to call it DirectX game. And I want to place this solution project in same directory. And this is probably going to be important because of our package manager. Location wherever you want. For me, it's set up like this. And then if we're here, if I try to run it, I should be able to run it. And we should be able to see hello world. Yep, everything works. So back to the VC package. Let's try to get started. And now there are workflows. There are various workflows, but one that I'm interested in is this install and use package with Microsoft Build in Visual Studio. So there are a couple of steps which are very easy to do. You have terminal options. I'm going to use PowerShell. So I'm not going to explain and read every step. First of all, we just need to clone the repository. We need it to build it, and then we need to integrate it with MS Build. So let's get started with that. This is very simple. We just copy. Then you find folder where you want to paste it, right? Open the terminal, PowerShell, ideally, because I'm going to work with PowerShell for the rest of this series. Then you can enter clone. For me, it's already here, so nothing to do here. So I'm just going to do this, and then I need this as well. So next we need to bootstrap that string. As you can see here, it says change directory cd, right? VC package, and then it tries to bootstrap it. Let's copy, paste it just with Control V, right? You can paste it, and there we're good. Okay, I right clicked it, so it's acting a bit weird. So we need to go to this step integrate, right? Copy paste, but all done. Then we need to set up the Visual Studio project. We already did that, right? We already created our project, so we can skip that. Next, we need to configure package roots. So ignore this. Let's get this step here, because we're going to need this, right? This script, but we need to run it to set up the path, right? You can also set up the path as a system variable, system environment variable. I'm not going to do that. I don't like doing that. So I'm just going to copy this, go here, and then what I'm going to do is just add new item, and then we can say set VC package, right? PS1. PS1 standing for PowerShell script, and this one is probably for version something, and then we need to set a path. So this needs to be your path, right? This part here. So for me, it's something like D, right here, and Windows. For you, it might be some other path, probably under C or wherever, however you partitioned your hard disk, right? For me, it's here, and then let's go further. So generate manifest file and then dependencies. Let's do that. We just need terminal here. Go to view, terminal, and then we can work from here as well. I'm just going to move now this left, then do a bit of this. All right. So let's create a new application. Just not paste it here. It's good. So let's just see if new file was created, and there are two new files. So you can just go here, show all files, and then we need these two, and we include them in project so that we always have them. So here it's empty, but we need our first dependency, and that's going to be SDL. So we can just copy paste this, but here it's adding port format. So that's the name of the package, right? We don't care about that. We're going to add SDL2. So now in our dependencies, you can see SDL2. And what else do we need to do? All good here. All right, I don't care about this too much. So just fourth step, I want to do it, disenable manifest mode. Let's go here. And then you're going to see here visual package, VC package. And then we want to say yes. Next thing that I want to do is VC package install. Of course, because I was working earlier, now we did set up this script, and if this doesn't work for you, maybe I just didn't call script, so it doesn't work. So what we need to do is, let me just wait for this. So what you want to do before install is actually just run this script, and then vc package install. Okay, all good. Now we have it installed SDL. So if we just build a project, and I can probably already close this. Let's make this bigger. It's built, says that it is. So we can try to check if we have SDL here, and we do have it. So yeah, that should be it. Now SDL, I'm just going to quickly mention it because it's very widely used, and you're going to find plenty of information on SDL. It's just a library that basically wraps around Windows windowing system, input system, sound system. It does same for the Mac, and then it does have for the Linux, Android, etc. So basically on Windows it wraps around Windows 32, right, windowing system, around Mac, around Cocoa, and it just provides window for you, and then exposes API also for the sound, for the input. We're going to use some of functionalities of SDL, not all. I wanted to add it just in case if you want to work with SDL and like the Windows 32 API, it's kind of nobody uses it actually. You probably use some windowing system that allows you to run on all platforms, and SDL is pretty good here. So we can just try to use it, and this include, it should be fine. Okay, it's fine. So let's just try to set up SDL real quickly. Since this is not common for Windows, this main, I mean it's common, it's just not common for window dev, right? If you want to create window dev. So SDL kind of has this SDL main handled, which should handle that case. So if you don't have this, it might not work. So let's just add this SDL main handled, and you can probably find this information in docs of SDL, which I'm not going to do right now. I'm not going to open that, it's not super important. But then we can just try to init and see if it works. So we can do this, right? If there is an error, we're going to return -1, and here we can return 0. Let's see, program is successful. So then we can create a window. I'm just going to quickly mention these parameters. So basically undefined here and here are responsible for vertical and horizontal position of the window. We want it to be centered, so we can just paste this undefined. Size of our window, and this is just a flag that says, hey, window is shown. So if window is now pointer, or if not window, I think this should work as well. We just want to throw an error that says something like windows could not be created, SDL get error. We can try to get error. If it's not created, we just need to quit SDL and we're done. So further, we kind of need to pull through SDL events. So we're going to do that. And we need to create our game loop, right? If we don't have game loop window, it's going to exit immediately. So let's do just that. All of this is very common for SDL. So I'm just going to remove all of this. So basically how SDL works is kind of you just poll events, right? And the event here is going to be like input event, some window event, change of position, change of size, audio event, probably stuff like that. And here we just want to say if event type is quit. So when is quit called? I think it's called when you press X on your window, right? That's one case, and maybe escape, I don't know. But if we pressed, for example, let's try it actually. So if we press here X, SDL quit event is raised, right? And then we just say we're not running, and then we exit the program. So last thing that we need to do is, I'm just going to do this SDL delay 16 simultaneous delay. Okay, the comment says everything. So I'm just going to remove this, we don't need it. And then we just need to destroy that window and call SDL quit. And we're done with the SDL part. So we need to go to DirectX part. So how do we include the libraries? Fortunately, we're on Windows, so it's very easy to include them. We can just say include DirectX11, and header is already there since we're on Windows. And then we just need to include the library as well, and we can do it like this. All right, we're including DirectX11 because we're working with DirectX11. We need that library, but also what I want to include is client. So we're going to be working with com pointer, with com objects. I'm going to explain com objects and what do they mean in context of DirectX11 a bit later, or in the next video. For this one, it's not important. So let's just try to create our device and device context. What do I mean by device? So let me just do this real quickly. Okay, so we need Microsoft namespace and then com pointer. We will need device, and then we're going to need device context. And maybe I can just move this so that we don't have to type it every time. Is it using namespace? Okay, it is. Okay, let's get rid of this. So device represents our physical device. So it's API for our GPU, and device context is just context. So it's sort of API that we're going to use for all the DirectX stuff. And device represents your GPU. So what I want to do is just this. We're going to have this feature level requested. For now, we just care about 11.0 version feature. DirectX 11 has different versions. It has 11.1, 11.2, etc. We're just going to use the core 11, which I believe was introduced with Windows Vista, but I don't remember truly. Or maybe it is with Windows 8. I don't know anymore. And then we have this flag which is going to say, okay, this can be supported, this cannot be supported. In most cases, it will be supported for you. So how do we get it? So we're just going to have here result, and then we have this method DirectX11, right? Create device. So first parameter is adapter. So what does that mean? This is where this interface that I mentioned earlier, DXGI, comes in, where you can query for your device. So if you're on a laptop, you might have like two GPUs, probably integrated one and then the dedicated one. So here you can say which GPU to use. I'm just going to use the default one. I have only one because I'm on a desktop. So just use the default one, type hardware, no software device. Flags, for now, no. In the future, we're probably going to want to paste debug flag here. So we want this feature level, number of feature levels is 1, exactly 1. In the future it might be more. Then the SDK version, that's kind of self-explanatory, and then the device out, right? So this is going to set up this device, same for the context, and then it's going to say, okay, we can support this feature level or not. We could check for feature level. I'm not going to do that. I don't care too much. It's probably going to work in most cases. If it doesn't work for you, let me know. But then we just need to check this result, right? If it's failed, we can just say, okay, failed to create DirectX11 device, blah, 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 and then we just destroy the window. So let's try it now to see if it works. Of course it doesn't, because I made a mistake somewhere. Where is the actual mistake? Let me just quickly see that. Okay, here it was. I was missing this. So if I try to run it now, let's see if it's going to get created. And it does. Everything went fine. So we have our device and device context. So for this video, I just want to query device and see basically which device are we using. And for that, we're going to use the XGI interface. So include the XGI. I'm going to explain a bit more in detail next time, but we just need to use this library as well. Okay, and then what we need to do is just query some interfaces in order to get this. So right after here, after we have device, we're going to have pointer, and then we fetch this device. So it's kind of just different interface for same device, right? For our GPU. And then we're going to need it to query actually adapter in the future. But first of all, we need to get this device, and we can get it from this device, right? So the COM objects are a bit weird, but you're going to get hang of it. So we need to say what we're querying, and we need this, and then right here, we just need to fill in this, right? So from the device, we're saying, okay, what kind of interface do I need? And this is this interface, right? Interface ID, XGI device, tralala. And then we just need to fill in this basically variable here. Then we're going to need adapter. And to get adapter, very simple. We just use this device, say get adapter, and then fill in the details. And then from the adapter, we can get the details about our GPU. So just going to use this, the XGI adapter description. We get the description, right? You can see that there is a plenty of methods here. Get description, get parent, not that many actually, but yeah, all right. Let's go further, and then we just print information about our GPU. And if I place it here, let's see what we're going to get. So if you check here in the console, for me it's saying using adapter NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3050. So not the recent GPU or mid-level, but it gets the job done. And here, maybe we can see here, adapter description. You can see some information about it, like the description of the device. And all of these are flags. So for the most part, so we're not going to be worried about it. And then the information about how much shared memory does it have, how much dedicated memory does it have. This is like 8x, I guess. I have no idea. But anyway, that's it for this video. So just to quickly recap and mention what we're going to do next time. So now that we have our device, right, and device context, we're going to, for the next time, we kind of wanted to just set up some basic rendering in order to clear the screen. So that's going to involve fetching the swap chain with this interface, right, the XGI interface. We fetch the swap chain, and then the swap chain is going to provide us with the frame buffer to which we render. Those are details for the next time. So next time we're just going to clear the screen. And just to recap this, so real quickly, After we set up our visual package right here, so we're going to use this throughout this series. It's just easier to work with than to download binaries and set up everything. Hopefully you got this part. It's very easy to set it up. Just make sure that this path here is path. It's the path to where you extracted, right, visual VC package. Just make sure that this is correct. And then to use it right here, if you set up everything correctly, if you just run whenever, right, set this, you have it, right, then you can use it. VC package, right, you can use it here. Then whenever you have packages, you're usually going to add package, and then you need just to install it, right, and then build a project. That's it. We quickly set up everything here. We're going to mention it next time. SDL init, right? SDL is just responsible for our Windows. I could have used Windows 32 API. I don't like working with it. And this is kind of more useful if you want to do multi-platform projects. So there it is. And then all of this, right? We're going to be working more with this next time. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, maybe like, subscribe, leave a comment, and until next time.